Hello and welcome, I'm Ruby Barlow and you're watching The World Report on NewsX World. To some breaking news, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has condemned the killing of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in US and Israeli strikes, calling it a declaration of war against Muslims. Pezeshkian stated that the assassination of Khamenei, a key political and Shiite religious figure, is seen as an attack on Shiites worldwide. He emphasized that avenging Khamenei's death is both a right and a duty of the Islamic Republic, pledging retaliation against those responsible for this historic crime. The death of Khamenei represents a massive blow to the Islamic regime in Iran. Khamenei has been the ruler of Iran for the last 36 years, as he is the second supreme leader. He has held several other positions in the Iranian government, as he started with Islamic training and then made his way into government positions such as deputy minister and president for 2 terms. It will be seen to see how the impact of his death will impact the war, whether it will increase the tensions on both sides, or whether his leadership will be surely lacking on the Iranian side. Mourning movements have begun in Iran. It remains to be seen whether these are genuine or forced mournings, but his death will make a massive impact on the country where he has been ruling for the past 36 years. Khamenei was a pragmatic hardliner and isolated leftists, dissidents and moderate clerics during his rule as a religious hardliner, inspired by his religious doctrine. Khamenei has also been a massive force behind the IRGC and Iran's efforts to gain nuclear weapons. He has also had a very antagonistic relationship with global leaders such as the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and leaders from Israel. During his rule, he gathered together a so-called axis of resistance together with militias in Iraq and militant groups in other areas of the region, such as Yemen and Lebanon, where he has allied himself with Hezbollah and the Houthis, who are also known as a militant group there. His death will greatly affect the proceedings there in the war so far, as tensions rise in the region. Oil prices and gold prices have been escalating in recent days as the market speculates on the outcome that could be from the tensions rising in the area. Iran has recently closed the Strait of Hormuz, which is a key geographical passage in the region. Joining us live, we have Aharon Lavako, who is an Israeli journalist located in Netanya in Israel. Aharon, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to be with you, thank you.
Of course. Now, what's your comments on the President of Iran's, what's your reaction to his comments that he's made?
Well, the first people I'm thinking of are the Iranian people, the thousands, tens of thousands of people who spilled their blood wanting regime change, wanting to see the overthrow of a dictatorship, an Islamic fundamentalist regime where they have been suppressed for 47 years, where the economy, the water, the infrastructure has been neglected, the people have been suffering in being internationally ostracized because of their radical views. So first and foremost, for those people and their families, the families who have suffered the loss of these tens of thousands of people, their sons, their daughters, their fathers, their mothers, there's a sense of justice for them. This is a great day for the liberation of the Iranian people. Now, for us here in Israel, this is also a great day because the proxies that have been attacking us for years, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, primarily they are funded and have been funded by the Iranian regime. So, for decades, this leader has been waking up in the mornings, and one of his big motivators is the destruction of Israel. So now that that man is no longer with us, I don't rejoice at the death of anyone, but in this case, and in the case of people who call for our destruction, who send missiles, who send billions of dollars to people to do the dirty work, there is a great sense of not only relief, but of victory. And there is celebration. We are celebrating with the people of Iran that wanted this regime gone. So I think overall, this is the dawning of a new day. This is the beginning of an even greater new Middle East. Not everyone's going to be happy. It's not going to be a bed of roses overnight, but this is, I believe, the beginning of the end of the regime. And it's only begun, this war, but by taking out the head of the snake, the supreme leader, who has been highly motivated by the Ayatollah Khamenei, who started the Islamic Revolution 47 years ago. This is a huge, huge historical event. And as I said, one of relief, one of victory, and it's only been day one. Let's see what happens.
Now, Aharon, Pezeshkian has stated that it is that his death is an attack on Shiites worldwide. We've also seen some strikes landing in US allied countries such as the UAE and Jordan. How do you think that this will affect religious unity between Muslims? Do you think these comments are an attempt to perhaps divide some of the US allies and perhaps, force a block?
Yeah, that's a really good point that you brought up. Let's not forget that 20% of the world's Muslims are Shiites, and he and the Iranians are predominantly Shiite Muslims. So I think this could be the demise of the stronghold in the Muslim world, which has been the Shiite Iranian-backed Muslims. I think the Sunnis are going to step up, and I believe Turkey will be the main nation that leads that. They are one of the largest Sunni Muslim nations in the world. So I think that they will lead a new kind of movement to dominate the Muslim world. I do see how this is interpreted as an attack on Islam, but and it can cause problems with the unity with the United States, for example, and some of the other moderate Muslim countries like Egypt or Qatar or the United Arab Emirates or Kuwait. But I think I think these more moderate nations, they are not as radical, and there's definitely going to be some challenge to the unity there. Here in Israel, we have a large number of Israeli Arab Muslims, and they're very loyal to the state of Israel. They are pro the state of Israel. They serve in our military and our police force. They serve in our justice courts. I think for us here, it is a positive thing because, you know, it's one thing being a Muslim, it's another thing being a jihadist Muslim. And I think this was an attack on the head of the snake of the jihadists. It's not over. There are others out there, and there will be others that rise up. But yeah, I think it's a good point you brought up, and I think there will be people. In fact, we're seeing protests all around the world. In Pakistan, they're attacking the U.S. embassy there. So, and I'm sure they're in India, that there are opposition to what's going on. There are protests all around the world.
Okay,
So
Harun, please stay with us as we move to our next story, where according